Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Cary here with TriStar Home Loans, bringing you another video. Today we're going to talk about occupancy choices when you're doing your home loan. Those three choices are going to be primary residence, secondary residence, or investment property, or what we sometimes call non-owner occupied property. Before we get started, just remember you can always follow me on my Instagram page. You can also like and follow our TriStar Home Loans Facebook page as well. So let's get started. Okay, so I guess a question would be, why is occupancy an important factor when qualifying for a mortgage loan? And really what it is, through the years, statistics have shown that people will default or foreclose on an investment property and a second home more than they will on their primary residence. So that's really what it boils down to. So to the lender, investment property and secondary residence are a higher risk. And because of that, it changes the guidelines. So for those two occupancies, meaning second home and investment property, those are going to require higher down payments. Sometimes they're going to require higher fees, and they're going to be critiqued a little tougher when qualifying that loan. So let's start with primary residence. A primary residence will be defined as the home that you live in most of the time. So those are what we see most often, are primary residences. Primary residences are going to be allowed less of a down payment. They're going to be allowed typically the lowest interest rates out there and the lowest costs. That would be primary residence. Our next category would be second home. So just like it sounds, it's not your primary residence or your first home, it's your second home. We refer to this as vacation homes. And in California, in our market here, we see this most often as beach properties, mountain properties, somewhere in a resort area is typically where we would be doing second home financing. How this influences your loan: second home financing can still get pretty low down payment. Maybe not as low as the 3 and the 5% you could do in a primary residence, but when you buy a second home, you can still buy with a 10% down payment, and the rate is very comparable to a primary residence rate. So that would be a secondary residence or vacation home. Sometimes we see this with people that want to buy a secondary home near where their kids are going to college because they're going to be spending some time there. The story for a second home, vacation home, has to make sense with what they're using the home for. And our final category would be investment property. So investment property is just, again, like it sounds, it's an investment. And typically these will be shown on your tax returns to show the write-offs that you're taking on an investment property. This is something that's going to influence your loan for an investment property. Would be the down payment is going to be a higher requirement. The equity, if you're doing a refinance on an investment property, you have to have more equity. The rate is typically higher on investment property. All of this is because of the assessed risk. And what lenders have seen statistically through the years is that people will default on an investment property before they will on their primary residence. And that's why investment property, the criteria is a little stricter on loan qualification. But there are some perks. You can offset that payment by the rents that you're receiving when you qualify. So you're receiving rents on a rental property or an investment property, you're able to offset what that mortgage payment is on the refinance or the purchase loan, and sometimes that helps you when qualifying, whereas you can't do that on a second home. So there are some perks to an investment property. Those are the three categories. Thanks again for watching. Remember, if you want to see some of my older videos, those are on YouTube. You can always check those out. And this is Cary with TriStar Home Loans. Until next time, happy holidays to all of you. Thanks.